little bit about yourself. What do you farm? How many acres? Your history of farming and where your farm is located.
I farm with my brother and my son. We farm about 3,000 acres between us. All of it's fairly close together there. I'm fourth generation on this farm, so we've been there a while and kind of grown it to what it is, and we like where we're at. And I'm located in southern Montgomery County in Illinois. We're about 60 miles straight south of Springfield, Illinois.
So what are your objectives for your farm right now? Is it to save money or is it to improve soil health?
Oh, I just say we try to do whatever's economically feasible that doesn't put the farm at risk, but we're always looking at ways to improve our yields, improve our soil, try to keep soil on the ground, not in the, going out with the water. I just from the little bit we're doing with cover crops and leaving more residue on the ground, you can really tell if you go for a ride after you've had some of these, maybe not a torrential rain, but just enough rain to get a runoff. You can see where the ground's been tilled and where you've got some cover crops or some residue. It's just, the water's it's not perfectly clear, but it's not carrying all this dirt with it, I guess you'd say, and taking topsoil somewhere else. But, we're just trying to reduce our trips, get as few as possible. And we've been no-tilling quite a few beans last year it was as wet as it was. We just did almost 100% on our bean stalks, or we did have some rye, not a whole lot last year, but this year we've done 650 acres direct into rye, green rye, and we've no-tilled another at least 200 to 300 acres into corn stalks. Some we've worked just a little bit because we had a few issues last fall with some ruts and trying to get fields leveled up, and we're still trying to get some fields leveled up because we've had a pipeline go across us 3 or 4 years ago, and we're still working on that, trying to get it back to normal. That's kind of where we're sowing cover crops to try to bring that ground back to its former self, but it's just a slow process.
And our cover crops and no-till and strip-till, are those the types of practices you're using and seeing your soil health improve with?
Yeah, we'd love to try strip-till, but our ground is we've got some flat ground, but then it might be flat, and then you've got rolling ground in with it, and we're just not, we have a lot of surface drainage also. We just haven't done as much strip-till as we'd like to, or we'd like to try it, but we've actually went to 20-inch rows, so we're on a little narrower row. So that's a little tougher in strip-till and stalks, but we're just still doing a lot of experimenting on what to do with corn stalks. Do we work them, not work them? Do we, the rye? I think the rye is going to be one of our best options, I hope.
Yeah, that seems to be a very popular cover crop, especially in Illinois.
Oh yeah, there's quite a bit in our county actually. Well, especially a lot got started last year, and here in our local soil and water, we kind of have a cost share program. We do try to promote a little bit and provide some cost share for it. It's not cheap, it's not expensive. When prices are low, it seems expensive. When prices are high, it's probably, it doesn't seem as bad, but we're just trying to promote it the best we can.
So thinking about that cost and, trying to figure out what works best for you, like why are you being motivated right now to use these practices and to build your soil health and to, improve the economy of your farm?
Well, what we've found is where we've got our rye sowed, I should knock on this table, knock on wood. Last year, it just seems like it suppresses the weeds so much that we're getting by on a lot less chemical trips. We're not putting any residual down. We're planting green. We actually just sprayed it last week. And there's really not much out there because that cover crop kind of gives you a, somewhat of a, well, it covers the ground more or less, and shades the ground, and seems like it suppresses the weeds. And I hope it keeps doing it. I mean, if we can save enough on our chemicals to probably pay, at least to put the cover crop in, which is a good thing. And plus you're getting the benefits out of it. And what we found a little bit, this is getting a little farther ahead, but we've had the rye, then the next year, usually we're going back to corn there. So far, it seems like the corn's even better. I don't know, maybe the roots are helping. I mean, we probably ought to go out, I guess, and do some digging with a backhoe and see. I don't have any idea how far down those cereal rye roots are going. I mean, they're probably not tremendous far, but on our type of soil, anyway, you can get something in the ground to let the water in. It's got to be beneficial.
How long have you been using cover crops for now?
I started dabbling around in it probably 10 years ago. Started with some radishes, a couple of years. We've kind of done that. And then we kind of started on this rye thing. Actually, it started through the soil and water. I had a equip program. I was sowing rye every other year on a piece of ground, like an 80 acres. And then we kind of started doing a little more and a little more, and kind of grown. It's just, I don't know. I hope it keeps going the way it is. I think it's worked fairly good for us. I mean, I'm not saying it's a miracle thing, but I think it has its benefits, I think.
That's great. It sounds like you've just had a lot of positive experiences with it to keep using it. Do you have like any suggestions for people that are just getting started or have been using it and maybe experiencing negative experiences?
Oh, I'd say just start on a small piece of ground. I mean, and the easiest thing is, or for me, if you're going to start, just put in your corn stalks. Hopefully go to beans there the next year, and they probably think you're crazy, but I'm still adamant on don't spray it. Wait till you plant it. I wish I should have brought a picture in today. I mean, I'm 6'2", and it was above my head what we were planting into. So,
Wow.
and I mean, the beans came up. I don't know. It's just you got to get a different mindset, I guess you'd say. And I don't do the planting, my son does. I mean, it's a little experience planting into it, but we've just had awful good luck. And like I said, there's another producer here in the county. He probably he probably had 1,000 acres of cover crops. He's my friend. I haven't talked to him, but I think he's, using quite a bit of it. So I'd say just start small and don't give up on it, and just, you'll get used to it.
Have you looked to anyone through your journey with cover crops? Was anyone your mentor through it? Did you look to anyone, or were you just on your own?
Oh, not anybody in particular. Like I said, I just know 2 or 3 others of my friends that have done it, and some of them have no-tilled longer than I have. Maybe not with cover crops, but just a no-till. But now they're using that, and I just kind of converse with them. And the more, to me, the more ideas you can get from as many people as you pick something up from one person, maybe a tip from somebody else.
Mhm.
It's just can't do anything but help you. I mean, everybody's experiences or ground can be different.
So I guess thinking long term, do you think the practices of soil health that you are implementing right now will mitigate risk on your farm for the future?
Well, I hope so. My biggest thing is just keeping the dirt where it is. I don't know. I'm getting a little older, but it just seems like these rain events anymore. I mean, different people you talk to, it's just, you can't get these nice rains like, 3/4, ½ inch. No, it's either boom or bust. It's either 2 inches in 20 minutes, or
Yeah.
just, boy, it can just move a lot of dirt. And once that dirt gets out and gets to the ditch, it's bye-bye to somewhere else. So
Yeah.
I just hope this, and it helps the soil tilth. I don't know, for hopefully building some organic matter, and it's kind of what we're looking at.
So will your son take over the full farming operation for the future? Is that the hope?
Yeah, that's what we're striving for, I'm pretty sure. And I've also got a little grandson now, so we've got the next one behind him coming on. So
Mm,
we hope to keep
great.
passing it down. And I just said I'd like to, your goal is always to leave it better than when you got it. And it just,
Mhm.
I think things, there's change over time, no plowing or this or that, but it's just something to get used to.